Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. There's another paid request, this time from Deshonde, who sent a generous request via PayPal for me to review, watch, talk about the first season of Invincible. Now, first off, for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, out of the blueness, what have you, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. It'll be pretty much anything. Now, Invincible, from what I understand, is based on a comic book created by the same guy that created The Walking Dead comic book. Then that became a very successful show. This is an animated show that was on Amazon Prime, I believe. And it's been renewed for season 2 and season 3. The original comic books, I think, ran for 144 issues. Never read the comics, so how close or how far it is to this I don't know. The animation is decent. Sometimes it feels a bit stiff in certain moments. Whether some background characters or some of the flying scenes, they seem a bit kind of like you just took an object, you just once in a while, but when the attributes happen, they're fairly entertaining and fairly decently done. It's very brutal. It's very gory, and the voice cast I liked. The lead kid is voiced by Steven Yeun, who I enjoy. Yes, he was on The Walking Dead, but I remember him more for this film called Mayhem, which I think is a very underrated film. Mayhem was directed by the same guy that did Everly and Wrong Turn 2, Joe Lynch. And yeah, I liked Everly and I liked Wrong Turn. Like, I liked him as a director. The only film I did not like of his was Knights of Badassdom. But hey, everybody has, even John Carpenter has his off days, like The Ward. And that's my favorite director ever. But Joe Lynch, I do like as a director. But anyway, Mayhem is, I thought it was a better version of the Belkowitz. I don't mind the Belkowitz, but I thought Mayhem was a much better version of that. Much more satisfying version. Especially in its ending. I thought it had a much more satisfying finale, Mayhem. So, it's worth a watch. And Steven Yeun was great in that. He does a good job voicing the lead character. J.K. Simmons, of course, J. Jonah Jameson from Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. He's been in a lot of stuff now. He voices the lead kid's dad, who's a very pivotal point on the show. There's other voice actors I recognize. Mark Hamill, Zachary Quinto. There's a few others. And before I get into the specific on the episodes, the best way to describe this for me would be Kick-Ass meets Watchmen. The best way I would put it is Kick-Ass meets Watchmen. You have the violence, brutality you would see in Kick-Ass with some of the plot points that remind me of Watchmen. Clancy Brown voices Dark Blood, which is this demon from hell, which is kind of like if Hellboy was like Constantine. But then he reminded me a little bit of Rorschach from Watchmen. Well, maybe that's not the right word. Well, I'll get to why I say that later on. So I wish he was in the show more. I will say that. And overall, pretty decent. I thought it was pretty decent. I'm not going to say it was a 5 out of 5 because I don't think it's as amazing as some people make it out to be, because I have little issues that maybe if it's all said and done and over, those issues will be settled. So for people to, well, you gotta wait and see, well, who knows? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. It worked out well in True Detective Season 1, where I was enjoying it, but I had little issues, but those kind of got dwindled when that great finale happened, and really enjoyed True Detective Season 1. wanting to get it on Blu-ray sometime if I can find it for a good price. On the flip side, Disney Star Wars, Force Awakens. Well, you gotta wait and see. I'm like, no, I think this film sucks. And guess what? It got worse. So it depends. It depends where it goes, what they're able to accomplish, how many seasons will it actually get. Okay, you got season 2 and 3. You don't know if it'll be canceled after season 3. Will the story be finished? If not, then it's all moot. It's a moot point. All that jazz. So there's little issues I have. I appreciate what it was trying to do. I just don't think it's as original as people make it out to be, because it reminds me of stuff like Kick-Ass and Watchmen and stuff I've seen, even some of the Injustice, Superman Injustice. There's like a video game comics. It reminds me of other stuff, so I just don't think it's this big, original, grandiose character. The kid who doesn't have his powers yet. His dad is Omni-Man, voiced by J.T. Simmons, who's pretty much this universe's Superman. And there's him, his dad, his mom, having a happy life together. And of course, it's a world of superheroes. Like, the White House gets attacked, and there's a superhero team. Like, there's one that's kind of like Batman. There's one that's kind of like The Flash. There's one that's kind of like Wonder Woman, or female, Hawk Girl. You have one that is kind of like an Aquaman, only he is actual fish type. And they find these things called the Mauler twins. Meanwhile, the kid finds out he's gotten his superpowers, and the dad's trying to teach him his superpowers. But I will say, as the series go on, what it does do the best is building up certain characters. It does a decent job, especially the two leads, the father and son. That building up those two characters throughout the 8 episodes, I think they do a rather good job, because I really feel sorry for, really like Invincible, which is the name he gives himself after he gets his powers. And even though he seems like he's invincible, he's still an underdog. And there's a lot of moments you just really feel bad for the character. You're just like, this guy is such shit creek over and over again. Sometimes a bit too much for my liking. I'll get to that in a minute. And then J.T. Simmons, his character is definitely interesting, to say the least. And there's other moments too, like the Mauler twins, these bad guys. There's a bit where one is a clone. I'm the clone. No, you're the clone, I'm the real one. And their arguments with each other depending on that. Not all the characters I gave a crap about, I'll get to, but a decent amount of the characters, especially the two leads. And in the first episode, it's like, okay, it's your typical kid. Where am I in life? Oh, I get these powers. Now I figure out how to use them. You know, he fights a guy, beats a guy during a robbery. And it's a story about a kid wanting to prove to his dad that I'm strong like you. I want to be like you. And then, really by the end, I'll get to that in a minute. Well, probably 50 minutes by the time this is over. The mom, voiced by Sandra Oh, she did a good job as well. Like, those three, that family unit was very nicely done. I think it was the strongest part of the show of this season. I think Steven Yeun, very likable character. I think some of the animation, some of the flight shots is a bit stiff. By staying still. Other moments are a lot better, especially again during the action scenes. And the gore. See, when you're watching the first episode, and this is spoilers now, spoilers. When you're watching the first episode, they do this thing where anytime they're about to say Invincible, the title shows up. But then it starts going to the background of that super team. I'm like, wait a minute. Something's up. We're like 37 minutes in. We got like 10 minutes left. There's something about to go down. So the ending was not surprising to me as to other people. Just like, wait a minute. And then lo and behold, Omni-Man, who's like J.K. Simmons' Superman type of guy, kills the rest of the team in very gory ways. Heads explode, heads turn into fucking mush. This is what a superpower person would do if he hits you. Your head goes Jason Voorhees style. And not every day you get to see that in a superhero animated type of movie. They gave a bit of a fight. It's pretty much if Superman killed the Justice League. Which I'm sure that's been done in comics. A little bit in Injustice, among other stuff. And again, it kind of reminded me a little bit of the beginning of Watchmen. Not exactly, but it's just, these heroes getting killed. You find out it's from one of their own. So you find out it's this hero who was part of a team killing other parts of the team. And that's for me, it's like, I've seen Watchmen, I've seen other stuff that attempted this. It's nothing that was uniquely original. It's just, okay, just something we haven't seen in a while compared to, the countless Marvel films or even a lot of the DC films. Although I saw at the beginning of the Suicide Squad as well. Granted, this was before that, but I'm just saying, that's not fair judgment to say because the Suicide Squad was well after this. But plus, I don't know. I'm guessing this is how it was in the comic books as well, which that was way before. So that's not, again, a fair thing. I'm just saying with my own viewing experience. So I've seen this stuff before. So okay, but it's a nice way to end it. It's definitely a strong way to end it because he kills them all very gory ways, but he's taking a hit. He falls unconscious, and then silence during the credits. And I just see people go, ooh, shit, what the fuck? It's definitely something that go, okay, you've left the intrigue at the door. What's in the package? What's in the box? What's in the box? Now you want to look in and see what happens next. And then episode 2, you have Invincible trying to get into his first big battle with his alien invasion, trying to save people. Some people die, and that's another thing the show does well, is that anybody can die, any civilian can die, so you're worried about civilians. There is an effort to try to help them and save them, but some of them are not going to make it. And thus each shot of a civilian, you don't know if they're going to live or die, so it does create a little bit more tension compared to a typical superhero movie. And there's some nice animation. There's a POV of him flying to save this old lady. There's other new heroes. Zachary Quinto as his robot. There's his lady duplicate. I like the idea that she makes these duplicates, and these duplicates could die very gory ways. But as long as she's still alive, it's fine. I like this character named Adam Eve. I liked her a lot better than another girl, which I'll get to. Fuck, I'll say it here. One of my issues is Amber, which is Invincible's... That's not the kid's, Steven Yeun's character's name, but I'll just say Invincible just for sake of argument. That I would have been fine if she died, and he died with Adam Eve. Oh, and people don't say, oh, because she's black. No, because she sucks. Her character sucks. Her character is a fucking bitch. Her character will dump him on a dime. Even after saying, I know you're a hero, and oh, boo-hoo. She doesn't say this, but like, hey, I knew you were a hero for weeks. I'm not stupid, but I dumped you like weeks ago. But she still plays him like a fiddle. And I'm like, she just came off as a bitch. And why do we even need a girlfriend type of thing? Do we need a girlfriend trope in every fucking superhero thing? Do we? Superman, Lois Lane. Fucking Spider-Man, Mary Jane, MJ, or whatever the fuck. Captain America, Peggy. Iron Man, Gwyneth Paltrow. At least Doctor Strange, they did a little bit different where that love story happened in the past and this is the aftermath of it. So at least they tried to do a little bit something different, Doctor Strange. Joker, they kind of did, but it was in his head. So again, they tried to do something a little bit different with that. But we don't need... He didn't need a girlfriend. We don't need this Amber character. I don't give a shit if she was in the comic. Don't have her in the fucking show then. Don't need... He's got enough shit that you could deal with character-wise with his family and his mom and his dad especially. Because he does know that his dad is a fucking killer right now. If Superman was a fucking murderer. So Man of Steel. But... Like, we don't need... I'll get to that later. In episode 2, it was nice to see these different heroes. Although I hated this one, Rexplode. This is a guy that's kind of like Gambit, where he could throw shit and it'll explode, like he could charge stuff. He was annoying as shit. And granted, he's supposed to be the asshole, and that's the point. The point is that he is an asshole. That's the whole fucking point. But he was annoying. He wasn't... when he was on screen, I'm like, I don't want to see him anymore on screen. He's a fucking limp dick piece of shit. There's even a joke about, I wonder if you have a limp dick. I don't care. Like, he's just annoying. Just irritating. He's not likable at all. He's not supposed to be likable. I know. So scratch that. He's supposed to be the asshole. That's his point. That's his job. But I was just waiting for him to die. If he doesn't die, fuck that. Let him die. Just, I don't want to see him. He's just annoying. Just irritating. When he's on screen, I wanted to plug my fucking ear holes. So he was just irritating. A character I did like, that I wanted to see more of, was Clancy Brown as this demon detective. Got a trench coat. He's kind of like if demon like Hellboy, but if he was doing stuff like Constantine would do, is investigating the deaths of the heroes in the first episode. He's writing on his notepad. I'll jump ahead. He's not afraid of Omni-Man. He's a demon. This organization, they know Omni-Man's doing it, but they want to figure out how to stop him and why he's doing this. Look off. He's like, no, I can't. This is wrong. So they send him back to hell. So he doesn't die, but he's sent back to hell by episode 4, which sucks. Because I liked him. I liked Clancy Brown. I liked that character. I wanted to see more of that character. I really did. Why can't we get more of him and less of Rexplode? At that time, reminded me of Rorschach, where Rorschach died. So, but, well, he gets sent back to hell. But he does leave a notepad, just like Rorschach left evidence back. Only this one, the wife finds it and is able to put two and two together that something's up with her husband. So I hated how little Clancy Brown's character was used, because I liked him. I have more of him and less of Rexplode. Fuck Rexplode. But in episode 2, I like the idea that when Invincible gets pissed, it's like when he's back against the wall, then he can really do a beatdown. Even beats this one alien's face to hell and high water. And yet you're supposed to, anytime you see J.K. Simmons, what's up with him, why he's doing this, you do get little clues, like how nonchalant he is about the death of this old woman, while his son is affected by it, or all this other stuff happening. Seth Rogen makes an appearance. He's in this twice as this alien who Invincible sees in space. And they have a... It's nice to see the contrast with how the conversation goes in episode 2 and how things have turned in episode 8. It just shows how much Invincible has changed throughout it. So I do like that bit of contrast. These aliens, I like the idea that they come in, but they can't stay long because they age too long. Then they do stuff to fix it. It shows the importance of this other superhero team. It shows again just how deadly JT Simmons is because he goes in and they think, oh, he's going to talk to them, this alien race. No, he fucking destroys the whole alien race. Completely destroys them by himself. And it's like years, decades for there is like minutes or hours on our Earth. So he just... And that's some pretty decent action set pieces, and definitely shows you just how... Like I say, Omni-Man's not one to be fucked with. And he says, Earth isn't yours to conquer. And that's a big clue as to why Omni-Man's doing this. And he definitely fucks their shit up. But it's just this, okay, another issue, which I know this is the point of it. So people go, you missed the point. I get the point. But Invincible, yes, he's a new guy. Yes, he has room to grow. And you can't have him be an OP from the start. If this is the beginning of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons, I get that. But he gets his ass beaten so many times. I'm like, this is one of the reasons why I don't like Kick-Ass. Well, that's not fair. I reviewed Kick-Ass. I'm like, I don't mind it. But I mean, like, the lead character. And it's like, I get it. You don't want him to be OP. What's a male version of a Mary Sue? John Doe? I mean, I don't know. Just Jim Sue? Jim Lee? I don't know. I get that, but at the same time, you're like, come on, dude. Sometimes it's like the power levels of Invincible. Like, sometimes he can do these crazy things, and sometimes he can't. He can do this, but he can't do this. I was like, what the fuck? And sometimes just, God, the lead guy just gets his ass beaten a bit too much. I almost, she's like, are you a wussy? Are you a fucking pussy, Invincible? Invincipussy? Is that what it is? So it's like, come on, dude. So that's why I was like... and you know what? Maybe that would work if it was once or twice, but it feels like almost every other fucking episode this happens. It happens in episode 2, where he's getting the hell kicked out of him, but then his dad, Omni-Man, arrives. And then... was it episode... was it 5? I'm trying to remember, was it... I think episode 5. Yeah, because that's when he has to help this thug beat his boss. And then he gets his ass fucking beaten up and just annihilated in episode 5. And episode 8, he definitely gets annihilated. And then episode, like, it's one after the other after the other. It's like, okay, he gets his ass beaten to a pulp in episode 5. He gets his ass beaten to a pulp almost in episode, like, 6. Yeah, like 8, 6, 5, and 2. Half the episodes he gets beaten to a fucking pulp, like a bloody pulp. I'm like, I get it. He's not supposed to be OP. He's not fucking going to be doing the John Wick, in 5 minutes. But it's like, come on, dude. Literally half the episodes of your season is just you getting beaten to a fucking pulp. Even by the end, you're beaten to a pulp. It's like the ending of Fist of the fucking North Star or something. It just... come on, dude. It's just not... Again, I get it where you have to wait till later and how... if this fluctuates by how the hell the last season is and it all works out, fine. I can let that go. As it is, I'm like, don't fucking pussy. It just makes him seem like a pussy. It's like, I get what they're doing, but at the same time, it's just not... for my type of liking, just satisfying to watch this as one go. And that's kind of like my frustration, as well as the girlfriend Amber being a bitch. But I do like the first 2 episodes. I like, hey, he gets beaten. His dad helps him out. He's new to this. I get that. I get that. In episode 2, I get that. But he's at least still trying to help and still trying to do this and that. It's his first time going to a big battle like that. I get it. And the baby, he has the old woman. He's begging for help in the hospital. And you see the trail of blood on the floor. So you see where he went in order to rest. And this is the first time seeing people dying from... Like, that made sense in episode 2. Episode 3, there's a funeral for the team that died in episode 1. The lead is going to go on a study day with Amber. Fuck Amber, she's a bitch. Why is she a bitch? Because there are times where you know he's a hero. So you know he's going off so he can save someone's life. There's literally a point that you say that you know he's this. You know he's this guy. In episode 6, his best friend is ready to get his throat crushed. You go off to save him from getting his throat crushed. But then Amber goes up to you and says, "What the fuck you doing? Where were you? Why'd you run away?" You just said that just like an episode later, you've known for weeks. And you dumped his ass weeks ago. "Oh, I'm sorry he didn't go to your fucking soup kitchen. He was trying to save some fucking lives." You start fucking, like, fuck you, suck a dick. That's why she's a bitch. And then, oh, she loves him so much that within a day... she tries to fuck some college guy. Go with Adam... oh, what the hell was Adam Eve. Go with Adam Eve. She's a lot better than this fucking bitch. God, fuck this girlfriend. She's a fucking... almost like Mary Jane and Sam Raimi Spider-Man. "Tell me you love me. Tell me..." That's what it is. Fucking Mary Jane, Sam Raimi. Yeah, let's make a return to that kind of fucking girlfriend. You know, again, don't have the girlfriend aspect in there at all then. Oh, fuck it, go with the superhero chick. You're a superhero, go with the superhero chick. It's like Batman. Batman, go with Catwoman. You know, fuck's sake. But anyway, back to episode 3. Rex Blode is an asshole, cheats on Eve with the duplicate. Not only that, but duplicates of the duplicate lady. And there are times they put these songs in the show and they suck. I'm sorry, I think the songs suck. The score, not too bad. The songs suck. There's not one song in this entire show that was worth a shit, in my opinion. Yeah, people fighting each other to see if they're good enough to be part of the team. Monster Girl, that when she changes... interesting idea that when she changes, she gets younger, so she can't change too much. That's also an episode where Invincible and Adam Eve have to go help at Mount Rushmore to have this crazy guy called Doc Seismic who has these bracelets. And then you also get the idea that the robot's Zachary Quinto, there's a bit something up with him because he lets these two bad guys, the Mauler twins, escape. And it shows how they care about one another as clones, because one literally uses the other as a shield, and the other gets shot to shit to a bloody pulp. I can always clone another. That's really a little more interesting on those type of characters. And like in moments like episode 4 where like the father and son flying together and trying to J.K. Simmons, Steven Yeun trying to bond with her, when you, especially with what happens at the end, definitely the stronger aspect of the show. But episode 4, I would say, is the weakest one. It's the one I dislike the episode. Because, okay, there's this mission to Mars. Amber is boring. She has no personality. She's flat as a character. They want Omni-Man to go. He says no. So Steven Yeun says, I'll go. So Invincible goes on the mission. Apparently cell phones can work in fucking space and on fucking Mars. Like, he can put his cell phone out and it's perfectly fine. I know it's animated, but still, it's like, with how brutal they are with the gore and how, I want to say they're trying to be realistic, but it's like, oh, just the cell phone. Just weird. But then he fucks up. He falls asleep on Mars. He wakes up, and then the astronauts are gone because they've been taken by Mars. Really, dude? I know you're new to this, but you fell asleep. Job is to... Come on, dude. It just makes me frustrated with the character on that. I like him because of the voice actor and a lot of the other pieces of writing, but sometimes it's like, with how much he gets beaten like a pussy, it's like, I know he's new to the job, but it's like, they're doing it so many, it gets repetitive to a point. Being to a pulp like a fucking... smashing an ant with a rock. Which I've never done. But I would assume that'd be pretty fucking... But goddamn, man. And he's dealing with the Martians, he saves the astronauts, but one's been taken over, possessed. Dark Blood gets banished to hell, which sucks because I like that character. I thought that character was interesting. I thought there's a lot more you could do with that character. And then he's gone. But we got Amber and Rexplode, some of these other fucking characters. Come on now, man. You could put him... So then you get to episode 5. This bad guy who Invincible fought earlier, who could create like this shell him as armor. He's thuds, nice gun into a guy's head. And you see a little montage of Invincible, like he beats this guy with a gun on his arm, he beats this dog lady looking father and son, more the bonding. Oh, this is how you get info. And he drops the guy, and Steven Yeun's like, you don't get him? And then JT Simmons like, yeah. In a second. Like, that was a fun moment. Like I said, the fun is the best part. He's trying to do like the Spider work. He can't handle his girl, can't handle school. The principal is Principal Winslow Johnson, which his character in Family Matters was Winslow, even though on that he was a cop. But I guess they're like, hey, we got Reginald Johnson, just call him Winslow. But no, it's Reginald Johnson. He was also Sergeant Al Powell, the guy trying to help Bruce Willis in Die Hard. And he had a cameo in Die Hard 2. Nice to hear Reginald Johnson again. It's the only bit he's in it, though. I'm tired of this Amber bitch. Dumps his ass even though she knows he's invincible. This thug guy, for the beginning of the episode, needs help. He's got a family. He needs to find a way to get the fuck out of here. Do something better. While Sandra Oh, Steven Yeun's mom, J.K. Simmons' wife, finds Dark Blood 20. Zachary Quinto's robot, the reason he released those bad guys, you realize that he has an actual human body that's fucked up. Cloning procedure. He wants to clone himself a better body. Because he has a house from my girl, who looks like a little girl, but she's actually like 30 some years old. So still a bit fucking weird. Still, I don't know how I feel about that, really. I really don't. It's fucking weird. Maybe that's the point, I don't know. I mean, there's some, like, why man Like the mom Sandra Oh the wife finds the bloody uniform. It's like in the house on top of a cupboard or something. Why would Omni-Man hide it there? This guy's pretty much Superman. He could take that bloody suit, go to the fucking sun and burn it in the sun. Why does he do that? He could literally fucking just take it and burn it in the sun, or just throw it into space and it will keep on going. He could literally fly and probably in 10 minutes be so far away, he tosses it and then goes back. Why would he leave it in his house that anyone could find in an easy fashion? Fairly easy fashion. Which is evidence of what he did in the first episode. That was just fucking stupid on his part. Didn't make a lot of sense to me. He could fucking go a mile, period. He could probably literally 50 miles. In a blink of an eye, into the ground, bury it in a crevice, and be fine. He could have thrown it into a fucking volcano. He could have done anything. So I don't understand. So the Invincible is going to help this thud guy to say, hey, people need help. He's able to kick some ass, but then once again, he gets beaten to a bloody pulp. The other heroes arrive. Some of them get beaten, some of them don't. The heroes do kick most of the bad guy's ass. Except the one, actually voiced by Michael Dorn, which is this battle beast cat creature. I don't know if he's a cat-like creature type of thing. Who fucks up Invincible. Kinda, what it reminded me of is there was a IDW Ninja Turtles comic book where I think Bebop or Rocksteady had a big hammer and hit like Donatello. And that's where they try to do that. Is Donatello dead? No, he didn't die. But it got people in the business, or that was on the internet for like 15 minutes of fame. What the fuck? Which is why they do stuff like that. And now I think they got like a fifth like female turtle in the IDW comic. I'm like, I'm not surprised. I'm expecting a Ninja Turtles movie that all four of them are females. I would not be Raphaela or Leah, Michelle, Donna, and fucking whatever the hell. I would not be surprised. But anyway, get back on topic. So yeah, that's another way fucking Invincible pummeled to a fucking pulp. I'm like, okay, it's getting a bit old. Getting a bit old now. But okay, Then episode 6, he recuperates. He goes with Amber and his best bud. Yes, he's gay. I don't care. The boyfriend at college, and there's this figure who takes people and makes them into cyborgs. And Invincible fights one who then sees himself and kills himself. Because Invincible's able to take his helmet off. Well, look, this is what I am. Kills himself. Meanwhile, Sandra Oh and Mark Hamill, who's this tailor guy who makes supersuits, who was friends with, they're devastated about this. Amber is a bitch, dumped your ass. Within a day, he's with a college guy, so she's fucking slut. Follows his friend in the sewer, find these cyborgs. He gets his ass beaten like a wuss again. These cyborgs who don't, like, they're just beating him up. And it's up to the gay best friend to appeal to his boyfriend, who's also a cyborg. And then they able to... Invincible does one or two things. Cyborgs in a sewer are beating your ass, dude. I literally went like this. Come on, man. I'm just fucking give up on this guy. Come the fuck on. You know what? I don't... This is an okay show. I swear, I liked it decent, okay, pretty decent, but until the show is over, I'm not watching anymore. Because if this doesn't continue to, like, it's just constantly happening, man. It's like, I get it, it's supposed to be a build-up, but until I know the end game, just infuriate the fuck out of me. In episode 7, literally, he's enough with the sulking, you big baby. I'm like, yeah. I think that's the one where he's actually dumped by the girl. Yeah, I knew you were invincible for weeks. If you knew he was invincible for weeks, then why the fuck were you pissed in the previous episode that he saved his fucking best friend from getting his fucking neck crushed? Fucking schizophrenic or something? And then J.T. Simmons, he's trying to plan how to tell his son about what he's done because he wants his son to join him. The soldiers try to destroy him. J.T. Simmons fucking kills them all, destroying shit. They try to find out how to stop them. They're sending all this stuff. It's killing this big creature. Steven Yeun helps because he doesn't know yet, so he thinks his dad's in trouble. Those Mauler twins, they actually clone one of the heroes from the first episode who died. This guy named Immortal. He comes in and he fucking fights Omni-Man, and Omni-Man kills him. And that's when the son realizes what's going on. And then episode 8, all hell breaks loose. And it's not a fight, it's just an ass whooping. Where Omni-Man, J.T. Simmons, tells his son the truth. Yes, I'm from another planet, but this is us. We have an empire. We want perfection. And it's pretty much the dad trying to convince his son, why do you care about these people? Why do you care about them? They're nobodies. Okay, you're going to live for thousands of years. You don't live, everyone's in 500 years, who you don't have left. This is, you're not human, you're this. Help us, help me. This is all fruitless. What you're doing is humanity is a fruitless venture. And just the way he shows him is just by giving the most gigantic ass whooping you'll see ever. And a lot of innocent people die. Like, he throws Invincible through a whole city, a bunch of people die. He tries to stop this building from falling, it falls, they die. He puts Invincible in a subway, makes them both go through an entire subway, and like 100 people get massacred in a bloody Again, it's not a fight, it's an ass whooping. It's a fucking ass whooping. And then he gets the Invincible pummeling him to nothing. And I'm sitting there going, like, rolling my eyes. And then, of course, it appeals to not his humanity, but his fatherhood. Because J.T. Simmons has a flashback to seeing his kid hit a baseball. And then he's like, why are you doing this? Why are you making me do this? Everyone's going to be dead 500 years. And then he says, I still have you, Dad. I would still have you. And then J.T. Simmons, like, he's out of it. Tears go down, and he flies away. And that's why I say J.T. Simmons at least is an interesting character. He needs to die. I mean, he needs to get his comeuppance someday. He's too far gone. Look at all these people. We just saw him just annihilate a bunch of innocent people. Including that father trying to get to his dead kid, and Omni-Man just stepped on him like nothing. So he needs to die, but what I mean interesting, and my neighbor's rooster, I just felt the same way. The fact that even though he's this fucking villain, there's still this fatherhood with his kid. But they better not make it where this guy is still, yeah, he's your dad, he did this, he cares about you, obviously, but he's still a piece of shit that needs to die. Because if they tried to do a fucking Sam Raimi, like, if they try to do, I don't know. If they try to do something else, I'm going to be pissed, I would say that. But I mean, it's a nice moment when Omni-Man flies off, and then they're trying to get the city back to status. And then Seth Rogen comes back, is a very different Invincible after he's healed up. Sort of episode 2 to episode 8. But then I hated what they did here where, you know, hey, the Empire's coming. What are you going to do in the meantime? Seth Rogen's asking Invincible this, and Invincible thinks about it. And then it shows pretty much what's going to happen in the future that, you know, the Martian who's possessed person, all that's going to happen. The aliens that Omni-Man fucked up in that dimension, there's still a few of them left, and they're going to go after. The thug who he helped, he's now beginning of a new empire. Even the fucking Earthquake guy, he's still alive. It just feels as if nothing has been accomplished. And Gray, he says a line like, you know, I'm going to finish high school. Well, what's high school? You try to end it on a funny note, but it's like, it just, by showing all those moments, it just feels as if Invincible, nothing has been fucking accomplished this whole season. I mean, I guess the only thing is that Omni-Man beat the fuck out of him. Invincible got his powers. Omni-Man beat the ever-loving fuck out of him. Which is like the 5th time this character's been beaten to a fucking pummel of fucking puff piece. Oh, I'm a dad. I flew off. That's really all that was accomplished. So I just... all these... I know the deep themes and thoughts and deep thoughts with Jack Handy. I get that. I say it's pretty decent. It's alright because I like some of the action scenes, the animation. I like some of the characters like Adam Eve, and I like Steven Yeun's performance. I like J.K. Simmons' performance. The gore, the blood, superficial-wise, it was fun to see that. You don't get to see that every day in animation form. But is this the fucking 5-star show that I can't wait? No, I can wait. I'll wait till it's over. And when it's over, if it's worth the shit, then I'll watch it again. So if someone sends a paid request, I would say don't bother. Just wait until the end, and then we'll see. So as it is, I thought it was okay, but I don't think this is fucking... It was alright. It was okay. But there's a lot of stuff that bothered me, bugged me. And I do think the father-son aspect has definitely the strongest aspects of any part of the show. There's some nice bits with character, like even Mark Hamill's character. His sadness of finding out his friend was such a monster. You know, the mom shook that her husband was his all along, and by the end is now like depressed and drinking. There's definitely some nice, serious character development throughout the show on some of these characters. While some, like Amber's annoying bitch, Rexplode, fuck him, don't care. Even by the end, I don't give a shit about him. Dark Blood, why'd you get rid of him so easily? Maybe they'll bring him back because he's not dead. He'll escape from hell again. So maybe that's nice. I say what? So in season 2, we're gonna go through the same villains we already went through again. I think it just felt like there wasn't like a big sense of accomplishment by the end of it, at least to me. I mean, I guess there is with Omni-Man, I guess, leaving. So that's, I don't know, just... Is that something I would rewatch? I'm sorry. Get mad at me all you want. Is that something I would rewatch? Like the sucky songs, some of the characters being... animation, most of the time is decent, sometimes a bit off. Zachary Quinto, the robot, kind of interesting, but it's just weird, off-putting with his motivation. He's in love with Monster Girl, which, yes, she's an older person, but she looks like a girl, and he's in a little boy. That's just weird. Like, where's that going to go from there? Does you don't get older and she's still going to get younger? Which each time she uses her power, is there a point, like, I think she even says at one point, one day she'll wake up be a baby after using her power one too many times? My neighbor's rooster apparently was like, what the fuck? Yeah. So, I don't know. It's alright. It's okay. Steven Yeun, J.D. Simmons, they definitely, and the gore, I would say, is the three best parts of the show. People get mad at me all they want because I didn't give it 5 out of 5 stars. It's alright. It's worth a watch for attempt at a lot. Like, they do a decent enough job building up characters of Invincible and J.T. Simmons and stuff, but it's just, again, people giving these perfect ratings, I'm not one of them. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.